Before we move on to the video, I have a small request from you. I sincerely say, welcome. To support us, could you please like this video? Thank you in advance. Finland has ranked for years as the happiest country in the world. They're always at the top of the list, with other Northern European countries like Denmark, Iceland, and Sweden right behind them. Now think about it. For at least a third of the year, it's dark, freezing, and icy. And yet, the happiest people in the world live there. That alone is fascinating. When you look at it from above, it's not hard to see why. High human development, strong social stability, a very egalitarian social structure, solid labor rights, and a deeply rooted work-life balance culture. Honestly, it sounds like an ideal system. But there's something strange here. Finland is currently going through an economic slowdown that would seriously shake most countries. The unemployment rate has climbed to 10.6%. That's one of the highest rates in Europe, and Europe isn't exactly known for low unemployment competition. To put that into perspective, the United States has only seen levels like this twice since World War II. Once during the first phase of the COVID lockdowns, and once at the peak of the 1982 recession. So Finland's happiness becomes a bit confusing, because let's be honest, money is strongly connected to happiness. The world's happiest countries are not coincidentally high-income developed economies. Healthcare, education, social services, all of these are expensive and require tax revenue. So the question becomes very logical. How can a country with crisis-level unemployment still remain this happy? Is the social safety net so strong that people don't worry about unemployment? Or is their economy structured so differently from countries like the US? These questions matter not just for Finland, but for the rest of the world too. As technologies like artificial intelligence threaten many jobs, we might want to understand how a country handles double-digit unemployment so calmly. And things get even more interesting. The Bank of Finland says this: unemployment is rising, but at the same time, employment is also rising. In other words, both the number of unemployed people and the number of employed people are increasing. How is that even possible? To understand that, we need to go back a little. The problems Finland is facing today didn't appear overnight. For years, the construction sector was one of the most important drivers of economic growth. But now, it has turned into a burden. Until World War II, Finland's economy relied heavily on agriculture and forestry. After the war, it was forced to pay massive war reparations to the Soviet Union. The $300 million debt was paid through the production of ships and machinery. These reparations pushed Finland toward industrialization. Agricultural workers left farming and moved into factories. This internal migration completely transformed the economy. Within 60 years, the population rapidly urbanized. People living in villages and underdeveloped areas moved to industrializing cities like Helsinki, Tampere, and Turku. As migration to cities increased, housing demand exploded, and so did prices. Low interest rates accelerated this process. The construction sector entered a legendary growth cycle. Within 10 years, construction employment rose by nearly 30%, making up 10% of total employment. Incomes increased by 67%. It felt like it would continue forever. But in housing markets, every booming cycle eventually crashes. As you may remember, housing prices peaked in 2021 to 2022. Then came the pandemic aftermath, global inflation, and rising interest rates. In Finland, interest rates jumped from 0% to plus 4.5%. The average mortgage rate rose from under 1% to above 4% within 2 years. And that marked the beginning of the construction sector's collapse. In 2024, housing permit applications fell to their lowest levels. In 2025, the country reported the highest number of bankruptcies in 30 years, with construction companies leading the list. And the problems didn't stop there. Finland shares a 1,340-kilometer border with Russia. For years, Russia was its largest trading partner. A large portion of energy came from Russia, and it was also a major export market. After the Ukraine war in 2022, this partnership disappeared almost overnight. Natural gas stopped flowing, electricity imports ended, trade collapsed. In 2019, more than 2,000 Finnish companies exported to Russia. By 2023, that number had fallen to 100. Border cities were heavily affected. Small businesses shut down. Unemployment surged. As a final measure for security, Finland joined NATO, but this also came with economic costs. Another issue for Finland has been brain drain. Well-educated, tech-savvy young people are moving to countries like the United States and Switzerland to secure better futures. At the same time, work permits within Finland were declining. Although the social security system is believed to provide high levels of protection, it can sometimes reduce incentives. The tax system is very heavy. After starting a job, the net income at the end of the month can sometimes be less than 1/3 of the gross salary. This system creates security on one side, but on the other, it can slow economic growth. Now let's return to the main question. Unemployment is rising. Employment is also rising. How is that possible? The unemployment rate doesn't include everyone without a job. It only includes those who are jobless and actively looking for work. If someone is not working and not looking for a job, they are outside the labor force. In Finland, more people are entering the labor force. Students, retirees, and especially immigrants are starting to look for jobs. In the past 3 years, labor force participation has increased by more than 46,000 people, almost entirely due to immigration. Immigrants search for jobs. Some find work, some don't. That's why both the number of employed and unemployed people can rise at the same time. So why doesn't Finland see this as a full-blown crisis? Behind it lies a socially conscious structure: universal health care, affordable childcare, free education, strong worker protections, and unemployment benefits. Of course, losing your job isn't pleasant, but it's not as devastating as it can be in other countries. Historically, unemployment in Finland has always moved in cycles. People are used to these ups and downs. They understand that it's temporary, not a permanent collapse. And this is where one word comes in: Sisu. Sisu is a Finnish word that doesn't have a direct translation. It represents courage, resilience, and determination in the face of hardship. Finland may not always have the strongest economy, but in difficult times, they stand firmly together. Even if global risks approach, the world will keep watching Finland. And their reality remains simple. They will always embrace Sisu and keep moving forward. Thank you for watching. You can support our channel by liking the video. See you next time.